Hi, my name is Shiloh Richter, and this video is part of a series that I am providing for evidence of the copyright infringement, plagiarism, and personal invasion that I have experienced from Taylor Swift since 2010. And these videos right now are focusing on the blatant plagiarism and infringement of 2020. So in this video, I'm going to show you where I live. That was picked up, not only picking up my work and my writing, but then picking up elements of where I live and putting those as a background for carrying that through to Disney's Long Pond Sessions of folklore. So I'm going to show you this evidence and of setting and how this has occurred from where I live. Like I've talked about before, many of these things are not things that I posted online, and so this comes from my phones and my computers being hacked as well. Later on, I'm going to show the evidence of why someone would do this, because it was shocking to me, very confusing to me at first, and for over these, it's been 12 years of this harassment, and so it doesn't seem to make sense why someone who could pay writers, who can pay for ideas, would choose to blatantly infringe upon another creator's work. It began, like I said in the videos before, it began when I first wrote to John Mayer online in April of 2010, and there was an immediate tracking of my writing and my work and my personhood on Tumblr, and so it began at that, and it was immediately vicious. It was immediately like I was a nemesis or something, because I had John's attention online, and so that's part of an explanation of how this began, and it has remained hostile for 12 years, and that's another part of this that I will explain. So in this video, I'm showing you where I live and how these elements in 2020 became part of the Long Pond Sessions, whereas she took my work, my writing, my persona. She was also taking elements out of my home that were not posted online, but a part of a harassment of tapping my phones and hacking my computers. These are the covers of my books. Coyote Weaves a Song, a mythological song from the beginning of time. And so Taylor in 2020 replicated the covers of these and then took her titles by manipulating my titles into hers. And I taught folklore at a university in Texas when I lived in Texas. I live in New Mexico now. And so I have a background in folklore and teaching literature, and that's what these books are about. So she took the facing the other way and then putting her hair up in dog ears and then dropping a jacket to show the white. And it's not just harassment, but it's copyright infringement as well. And of course on the back is my other little one, and these are very important. I write about them in here in the mythology. This is Moonbeam, my dog that I got in 2007, who absolutely changed my life. And this is Vanilla Custard Pudding, who has walked many hundreds of miles in the woods with me. And so this is me in the woods. Here in the Lincoln National Forest. This is actually pretty close to my house. And these, and there's Moonbeam again at Sacred Grounds, this place that is a coffee shop on the river here, a very cabiny coffee shop. and vanilla custard pudding at the little lake by our home. And so this, not only was she copying the work, but she was taking the setting of where I live and pushing the harassment further. So on here, I designed these covers and did the photography myself. And on here, you have a little dots of a sewing thread coming into the titles, and this has to do with the weave of the song, but it also has to do with Penelope in the Odyssey keeping on weaving during the whole two epics. And so Taylor would take this and send gifts of embroidered things, hand embroidered things, to trying to make the news make that her own also. So the harassment goes very deep and long. And then these books are this one is dedicated to the Grateful Dead, and of course then she started in on trying to incorporate that into her work. So this is my little cabin. It's not actually a cabin, but it's very much in the mountains and the forest and looks like a cabin. I've been walking the shores of this lake now for a lot of years, and so this is the setting of all these years of writing to John, and all the writing of the books, and all the meditative walking here has been a big part of my life. It's even a part of the writing in that Penelope in the Odyssey talks about her ducks on the water, her geese on the water actually, and so in all of the writing, this is where I have been taking daily walks here and in the woods. So this is my beautiful lake that I've been so blessed to live by, and it has really been inspiration for a lot of the writing. I write about the caves at Ardèche in the south of France, and this setting has provided so much of the inspiration to keep writing and to keep following it out. And so it's been the perfect setting to write the books. That's in Coyote Weaves a Song. So it's also been, of course, the setting to writing to John, and learning how to match my piece to the piece of the water. And every time I walk out here, it just feels like that water is my soul, and it has given me so much healing, and I just love this place. So in my writing about the caves, I write about the passage that has the Venus in it, and what they call the sorcerer. Of course, I don't think it's a sorcerer, but a musician is a sorcerer too, I guess. So there at the in between life and death, you have this many images of water, and Penelope's geese. Then I relate to this passage where Odysseus meets her of course, at their bed, and this matches that Venus in that cave. And so it's the in-between where you have the water, the in-between the surface of the water being this side, and underneath the water being the other side. It's very significant in the imagery in the caves. And so that's part of the inspiration that I've gotten here while I look at those cave pictures and write about them, and write about the the literature and the mythology of them. And of course, I bring it home to the Grateful Dead, and that was the point of dedicating it to them, is that it comes rightfully to them through their aliveness of music and the incorporation of the spirit that they awaken, and the truths, the eternal truths of the poetry. And so all of that has been found in the inspiration here. This is out my back door. The wild horses. I love it because I was just talking about the caves and the wild horses in the caves. What do you call them? Antelope horses. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetie. I do have something for you, but I'd have to cook it right here. Hi, sweetheart. Aren't you gorgeous? The horses are such an important part of Chambray and of the epics. That firewood right behind them, my dad cut for me on the ranch. Hi, gorgeous.